Imagine this. New York City, 1907. The financial heart of the United States is in chaos. Banks are collapsing, people are panicking, and the entire economy is teetering on the edge of disaster. It's a moment that could have spelled the end for America's financial system as we know it, but instead it gave birth to one of the most powerful institutions in the world, the Federal Reserve. This is the untold story of how the 1907 financial panic shook the nation to its core, and how one man, J.P. Morgan, became a hero, or perhaps a villain, depending on who you ask. The crisis that changed everything. The 1907 panic and birth of the Federal Reserve. Enter 1907, a year where that spark was about to ignite. Act 2, the panic begins. In October of 1907, a group of speculative investors tried and failed to corner the market on copper. When their scheme collapsed, it triggered a chain reaction that rippled through the entire banking system. Banks suddenly ran out of cash, loans were called in, and panic spread like wildfire. Panic gripped the nation. People rushed to pull their money from banks, and businesses went under overnight. The fear was contagious, and soon, the collapse of the entire U.S. financial system seemed inevitable. Act 3. Enter J.P. Morgan, the nation's last hope. With no central bank to intervene, the nation turned to one man, John Pierpont Morgan. A billionaire banker with immense power, Morgan took it upon himself to save the economy. But how? Morgan gathered the nation's top financiers in his New York mansion and orchestrated a massive bailout, pooling their resources to prop up failing banks. For days, these men worked tirelessly to stop the bleeding, with Morgan himself refusing to leave until a solution was reached. It worked. Morgan's efforts helped stabilize the banking system, but the crisis had revealed a dangerous weakness in the U.S. financial structure. Act 4, the aftermath and birth of the Federal Reserve. The 1907 panic made it clear that the U.S. needed a central institution to oversee its economy, a safety net to prevent future disasters. Just 6 years later, in 1913, the Federal Reserve was created, forever changing the course of American finance. But was this a good thing? Some argue that the creation of the Federal Reserve concentrated too much power into too few hands. Others believe it was the only solution to prevent another financial meltdown. Conclusion: a legacy that endures. Over a century later, the effects of the 1907 panic still shape our economy. The Federal Reserve has grown into one of the most powerful institutions in the world, controlling interest rates, managing the money supply, and responding to crises like the 2008 financial meltdown. But it all began in the chaos of 1907. A crisis, a banker, and a decision that forever altered the path of American history. What do you think? Was the Federal Reserve a necessary solution, or has it created more problems? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing stories from history that shaped our world. Thanks for watching Epic Era, where we bring history to life.